today the House passed a financial reform bill that is riddled with loopholes. So there's we got some reform. We got a consumer protection agency in the financial realm, and we set up exchanges for derivatives, and we actually did get some decent reform in terms of credit rating agencies. Now, all of it is insufficient. For the credit rating agencies, they get paid by the people that they are rating. That's a mental system. Of course, they're going to have all the incentive in the world to give them great ratings. Now they can get sued by investors if their ratings are that far off and they knew they were that far off. So that's a little bit of protection, but I would have changed the system entirely so they get paid by the investors. So that would give them the proper incentive, right? Now, as far as the derivatives are concerned, there's this giant $50 trillion loophole in this bill. So will they really have to report their derivatives? Not necessarily. What would I have done? I'd have outlawed the credit default swaps entirely, the naked CDSs that are just gambling. And I'm not alone on that. George Soros thinks that they should be outlawed completely. And Paul Volcker says that Wall Street needs to wake up and in regards to the derivatives, which are enormously damaging and possibly explosive to the economy. And Warren Buffett calls them weapons of financial mass destruction. And the bill lets us see some of those weapons. Doesn't shut down the weapons, and we don't get to see all of them. But every once in a while, the bank comes out and goes, "Yeah, these are kind of half my derivatives. All right, now go away. Sit. Okay, so those derivatives, they're going to blow at some point. They really are. You know what? Let me give you one more quick fact about that, because this is an amazing thing. So in the past, I've talked about how there's a $600 trillion market in derivatives. To give you a sense of how insanely large that is, the entire world economy, the gross domestic product of the entire world, is $60 trillion. Now you tell me if we're going to have trouble with the derivatives market when it is 10 times as large as the entire world economy. Now why? Is there value? Is something so valuable that it's worth 10 times as much as everything created in the world combined in that year? That's insanity. Of course there isn't. What does that mean? That means they're gambling. That means they're saying, yeah, I know you got $1 worth of land there, or you got $1 worth of corn there, or you got $1 worth of oil there, but I'll make you a $10 bet on it. The entire U.S. economy, GDP, is $14 trillion. Just the credit default swap derivatives, just those derivatives, are worth $60 trillion. Okay, one of our listeners did the math on it. Carl Harrison wrote in and said, hey, if you take $600 trillion and you divide it by the number of people in the world, which is about 6.7 billion people in the world, that means that every man, woman, and child in the world has the equivalent of $89,658 worth of derivatives. Okay, is there that much value in the world? I mean, the whole thing is comical. And what we did, and what we're proud of today is, with a Democratic Congress, we got to see some of those derivatives. And can you believe that? That's the other amazing part of this. All this time, they've been trading $600 trillion worth of derivatives. And if regulators said, hey, can we take a look because you might blow up the economy? They said, no, get out of here. We can't even see what they're trading. It's madness, man. It's madness. And now when you get to the Consumer Protection Agency, the so-called New Democrat coalition shot enormous holes in it. These are Democrats, corporatist, sellout, banker-friendly Democrats like Melissa Bean and Perlmutter from Colorado, et cetera, et cetera. And so there's these giant loopholes there.